What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Will Motivation back again with another video here in my garage with the Ferrari F8 Spider. And the title of this video, as you can see when you clicked on it, is bagging groceries to driving Ferraris. And it's true, I bagged groceries on my way up to the point where I could actually afford this Ferrari. It's a 2023 Ferrari F8 Spider. As you can see, a lot of you guys that tune into my channel, to my videos, probably are already familiar with this car. But I wanted to talk about something that actually almost held me back from being able to get this car. And what prompted me to make this video was a question that someone asked me, and it reminded me of my days when I was bagging groceries. You know, before I could actually afford a Ferrari, I was pretty much broke. I was working at the grocery store, bagging groceries, and I had a big problem when I first got that job bagging groceries at the grocery store. And the question that the person asked me reminded me of that problem that I had. So let's talk about it. All right, so yeah, let's talk about it, man. First of all, if you guys first time you're tuning into my channel, my name is Will Motivation. I like to do these videos to share my experiences owning some of these crazy toys that I have, these supercars that I have. And more importantly than sharing those experiences of owning these cars and having fun with them, more importantly, I like to share how I was able to afford these supercars. And like I said, I'm going to show you guys the comment that somebody left me, and it kind of touched me and it inspired me to make this video. And essentially what the gentleman was asking me, what he said in the comments was, he struggles with being an introvert, and is your network like really your net worth? So there's a saying that people use, they say your network is your net worth. So basically what that means is the more people that you know, and basically how you can connect with those people, how you can network with those people, the more people you know and who you know will help you get to where you're trying to go. And from a financial perspective, your net worth, increasing your net worth, growing your net worth, that kind of thing. So basically, if you know somebody who can get you plugged in to make some good money. So his question was, you know, how much was that the case for me? You know, my network being my net worth, basically people that I know and networking and meeting a whole bunch of people, and then seeing how I can leverage those relationships to get more money, get more contracts, get more business, get a better job, that kind of thing. How much was that the case for me? So why that kind of like touched me is because he said he was an introvert. A lot of people don't know this because I do YouTube, I make a lot of public appearances, I do speaking engagements, I go and talk to kids in high school and stuff like that. A lot of people don't realize this, but I am actually an introvert. And if you think you're an introvert, and maybe you think you're shy, I'll bet you anything, I was more shy than probably most of anybody out there. And why it took me back to my days when I bagged groceries is because that's when I had to professionally, you know, basically for my job, I had to break the mold of being shy. And I was so shy that I'm gonna tell you two stories of how much of an introvert I was and how shy I was. These are true stories. One story, I'm gonna tell you the easy one about the bagging groceries, right? I used to be a bagger at Kroger's. It was my first job in high school at the time. And as a bagger, you have to ask people, do they want to have paper or plastic bags when they come through the line and they're checking out and they're gonna pay for their stuff? I'm sitting there waiting to bag their stuff. I had to say, hey, excuse me, like, would you like paper or plastic bags? For me, as an introvert, and as like I guess I probably was 15 years old when I had this job, maybe 14, 15 years old. For me to say paper or plastic to a stranger, to ask them, was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. To ask a stranger if they wanted paper bags or plastic bags. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, I had a struggle with that. And it took me about a week to suck it up and say, okay, this is part of the job. I get paid my $4.50 an hour for this job. I got to get over asking a stranger a question, and I'm going to have to ask them paper or plastic. So I had to just make that decision to get outside of my comfort zone because I knew I had to get the job done. I had to bag those groceries, and I wanted to do a good job. Like, every time I had a job, no matter if it was cleaning up trash, bagging groceries, I always tried to do the best that I could, and I took it seriously. So for me, that was really hard. Believe it or not, that was really hard for me to do that. I got nervous and jittery and stuff, but I had to get over it. And I told myself, hey, you're gonna have to get over this if You're gonna do a good job here. And I got over it. And little by little, that actually changed my life, you know, to an extent of being able to do basic stuff like talk to a stranger. But I'm gonna tell you another story of how much of an introvert I was. Like one time, I had a crush on this girl in high school, probably about the same age. About the same age, maybe a little younger, probably 14 years old, something like that, 15 max. There was this girl, this Dominican girl in my high school. There was 2 Dominican girls in my high school. They were cousins. And I had a crush on her. I waited. I couldn't get up the nerve to talk to her during the whole school year. But I was like, I'm just gonna make myself talk to her. And it was the safest situation because I chose the last day of the school year to go talk to her. And I had this plan where I wrote her a note. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go say, hey, I hope you have a nice summer, and you know, I really wanted to get to know you, and I'm gonna leave you this note as a gift or whatever. I forgot what it might have been, a card or something I was gonna give her, or a note. So I waited till the last day of school, and I caught the bus to school, so I had to hurry up. I timed it perfectly. I stalked like where her locker was, what time she was going to the locker, and I was like, I'm gonna run to her locker, I'm gonna say my piece, and I'm gonna give her the card or whatever it was. Then I'm gonna catch my bus to go home on the last day of school. Everything went according to plan. I ran upstairs to where her locker was. I saw her there at the locker, got up my nerve, went up to her and said, hey, Liz. Her name was Liz. I said, hey, Liz. And I forgot what I was going to say, but I knew it at the time. I knew what I was gonna say, but my voice went out. So I got to start talking to her, and like my voice completely, like that's a real thing, like people's voice going out because they're so nervous. I was so nervous that my voice left, and the only thing that could come out was like some squeaks and some air and stuff. And I was like, yo, it was the most embarrassing moment of my life. But that's how much of an introvert I was. Like I got nervous talking to people that I didn't know. And I don't know why. Like I really don't know why I was like that, but I was really like introverted. Now, if I knew you, like if you grew up in my neighborhood, and I saw you when I came out to play and stuff like that, I wasn't that. Really wasn't that introverted in my neighborhood. I just felt comfortable there. But everywhere else, super introverted. So the point of the story is that you can be that socially handicapped, that socially awkward, that introverted to where your voice will go out, or you know, you have a hard time speaking to, just saying hi to people or saying plate, paper, or plastic. You can be that bad, but you can get to the point where now you meet and speak with thousands of people. I have a YouTube channel, and I'm not just behind the camera. I go out to events, I meet people, I have a business, I deal with customers that I don't know, that I have to talk to. But you can come from being that bad to getting to the point where I have a successful business, I've held down jobs, I've never got fired from a job, anything like that. I've always done well. I think I've done a good job communicating, talking to people and stuff like that. I had to get over it. And the reason why, so this is to the gentleman that asked this question, and this is to anybody else that's watching that's trying to get something out of this video. The reason why and the how behind it is, first I had to know why, then I could figure out the how. But I knew why I had to get over being so introverted and shy and debilitatingly shy. I knew I had to get over it because the things that I wanted in life, like this here beautiful Ferrari that I'm sitting in, like I knew if I wanted to have a life where I could have this kind of car, whatever car I wanted, or be able to take care of my family and do things, whatever I wanted, when I wanted, if I wanted to have that life, I knew I had to be able to deal with people and talk to people and get outside of my comfort zone and do things that I might not want to do and things that will make me uncomfortable. I knew I had to get over that in order to get the things that I wanted in life. So that was my why. Then the how became, it's like getting in cold water, like you're gonna jump in a swimming pool. You dip your feet in the water, okay, it's cold, but guess what? If I wanna swim to the other side, I gotta jump in. And it's gonna be cold at first, but I'll get used to it. And then I'm gonna swim across to the other side. So just knowing that, the how was just getting involved, getting into it and just doing it, forcing myself to do it to the point where it is no longer uncomfortable. So now I can go and speak to, you could put me on a stage of 1 million people and I can speak really without any problems. The only time I would ever get nervous speaking in front of a lot of people is if I was up there talking about something that I didn't know what I was talking about. But I even know how to deal with that now. Like that doesn't even make me nervous now because I'll be the first one to say, hey, I don't know about that, but I do know about this. And I've learned how to maneuver those kind of situations to get whatever I want out of the situation. So you have to, if you really, like if you're introverted and that's a challenge for you, just knowing what you want and what it's going to take to get there. And sometimes it's going to be hard and uncomfortable and difficult. You just got to do it, because if you ask anybody that's, you know, achieved things that normal people don't achieve, they're going to tell you it's difficult. It's like, it's not the easy route. Sometimes you got to take the hard route or the challenging route. But as you do that, you build up muscles and you build up the capacity to do things that you weren't able to do before. Now, to answer the question about, is my network, has that been like my net worth? Has that really been like that? Does that statement or that saying, does that ring true for me? No, I think for me, like my main thing for my life has been figure out what you want and act accordingly. To me, to say my network is my net worth is almost like I'm using people to get what I want. And I gotta know a million people to get what I want. Well, to an extent, like I have a business where I have customers, so I gotta know my customers. So yeah, from that perspective, I'm gonna network with customers all day long, and I'm gonna try to provide them with a service. But the way I have my business set up, usually the customers come to me and they wanna network with me. And then I'll say, hey, I'll help you, you know, but I might not help everybody. And that's how I've tried to set up my business. So me proactively thinking like I gotta network with everybody to increase my net worth, I've never really gone about that, but I have gone out to certain situations and events where I was like, okay, I'm gonna meet everybody here as a challenge to myself, and wherever the chips fall where they may, that kind of thing, whatever happens, good or bad from that, it really is not gonna be no bad, but whatever good comes out of that, we'll take it. And I have challenged myself to do that, like just to get into a networking mode and a survival mode to say, hey, I want my business to be successful. So I would go to conferences and I would be like, I'm gonna meet everybody here in this room, introduce myself, tell them what I do, ask them what they do, see if there's any way we can do anything together, and give them my business card. And I'll go do it. And it would just work like, hey, if you don't do this, you can't eat, you know, that kind of thing. Taking it seriously, but you can get over that introverted state, you know, if you want something bad enough. And that's what it's going to boil down to. Like sometimes there could be something holding you back from getting what you want. You recognizing it and just saying, hey, it's going to be hard for me to do this, but I'm just going to do it because it's getting in the way of me getting what I want. And that's what it all boils down to. All right, so for all you car fanatics out there, we're inside the garage. It's really cold outside, but this is something really nice to look at on the inside too. Check it out. This is the inside of the Ferrari. I need a key to turn it on. I don't have the key with me, but this is the inside of my Ferrari F8 Spider. This car only has like 500 miles on it. And it's a beautiful spec. Yeah, it's a super fun car to drive, man. I'm gonna be making some more videos with this and the other Ferrari that I just got. So if you like those car videos, man, stay tuned. But every now and then I like to drop some knowledge on what it took to get these cars. So that's what this video is about today, man. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you got any questions for me or ideas for other videos, drop me a comment and I'll do them.